Good afternoon and welcome to episode 23 of Pondering Fridays with Bina. As always, I have my trusty Steve with me. Say hello. Never leaves my side. I want to talk today about human creativity. I was lucky enough to be invited to the Creative Circle Cannes 2019 jury presentation that happened at the Ster-Kinekor in Cavendish Square this afternoon. Spending a Friday tucked away in a dark cinema room that's warm and cozy was really quite something. To top it all off, I just got to watch ad after ad after ad after ad, which is one of my favorite things to do. There were 4 campaigns that really stood out to me, and I know not a lot of people have the ability to, go to Cannes or go to these presentations. So I thought, why not share some awesome creative ideas with you that I was lucky enough to be exposed to today, that you can go and look up on YouTube or the internet. They are obviously all out there, but these kind of stood out to me when it comes to using creativity to solve a problem, which is, an innate skill for humans. Yeah, tech and data are really important, but no other nothing really. I don't really know what the terminology I'm looking for is, but no other nothing is able to use creativity or to be creative. So the first one that really stood out to me, I didn't take a video of it. 2 I did take a video, so I'll share them in the next little story that I do. But Apple did a piece called Share Your Gifts, and it started with it's a cartoon piece, and it started with this young girl in her room. There's a beautiful dog, obviously, so that kind of spoke to me. And she's drawing or writing or something. It doesn't ever show you what the back of the piece of paper ever did, but every time she created something or wrote something in those pieces of papers, she hid it away in a box. And her dog would try and see it, and she's like, no, you can't see it. And eventually one day, the window was open and a gust of wind took a whole bunch of them out. She chased it down the hall. Eventually all these people started catching them out of the air. We're looking at these creations that she did, and we're starting to come together and speak and talk and I don't even know what the terminology that I'm looking for is, but her gift that she was hiding away from the world, when it was showed in front of people, changed the way that they saw the world, the way that they thought. And then they noticed it was her. They all gathered around her, and the whole thing then ended share your gifts. If you have something to share, if you're really good at something, if you're a cook, an artist, a pianist, you just like to speak like I do, just share it. Why not? Okay, I'm only going to leave my favorite one for last. There's another one called, in South America, the telenovelas are incredibly popular, and there was a problem that was the Organ Donor Foundation in Peru had come up with they had a problem that they weren't getting enough organ donors. And so what 2 of the most popular telenovela sitcoms actually did, because in these ones it's very love triangles, and then this one's in love with this one, and then this brother dies from this crazy disease, and so it's all very it's very crazy. So in order to get more people to donate blood, one of the characters in, I'm just going to call it sitcom Ek or sitcom 1, he died in hospital for some other random reason. And in sitcom 2, it's not the same sitcom, it's literally saying Friends and Big Bang Theory. So Joey dies in Friends, and Sheldon then goes to hospital and needs to have a kidney transplant, and he gets Joey's kidney transplant. And the 2, and the scripts were done that way, he got it from Joey from Friends. And I've just taken some notes here. In the first week after the campaign launched, 11 people were saved from organ donors, because they had a 200% increase in organ donors based on just changing the script for one little thing and showing how important it is that one life can save another. Creativity. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, then the third one I want to talk about is it's called Immigration Songs. And anyone who hasn't been living under the rock, or a rock for the last 10 years, or however many years, realizes or knows that Mexican or American immigration is a bit of an issue, and the laws around it can be quite difficult to understand, especially if English is not your first or even your second language. So what this company did, they partnered with immigration lawyers and a whole bunch of mariachi bands, and literally created So explaining that if you don't have a search warrant, if the police doesn't have a search warrant, they can't come and search you and they just come back. Or they can't, you don't have to speak to them unless you have a lawyer present. So all these things that not a lot of immigrants know, they created in a song. So I'm not going to sing it, but it's like, if you don't have a search warrant, you can't come into my house. Da-ra-ta-ta-ta-ra-ta-ta. And they just played it all over the radios in South America. No, sorry, not South America. Southern USA, like Texas, New Mexico, all of like even, God, I'm so bad with maps, but the South, that sort of area. And it really increased the knowledge that these people had around immigration and what, how the laws protected them, what they could do, and, how to understand the laws of immigration. Okay, then the last one I'm going to talk about is a company called Fibres. I think it's basically from what I've seen, the South African version of Lillette's. So they do female hygiene products, and part of this is I've seen it for a while, but there's a big movement towards cleaning your intimate regions with products that are specifically designed with the right pH. Because if you start hoying soap up there, it's going to cause like a lot of issues, and that's where like yeast infections come from, and it's nasty. So using properly designed female hygiene products is a really amazing thing to do. So what they did was to create this amazing campaign called Viva la Vulva, and they took everyday objects, and with a song, that we've come a long, long way together through the good times and the bad, and I celebrate you, baby. And they've taken everyday objects and created new objects to literally look like a vagina. I can't do it with one hand. And it's the mouth. So I'm definitely going to share that on my next one. It's so funny. That is it. I mean, these are just really awesome creative ways of solving a problem, or using creativity to solve a problem that actually saw some really awesome effects. So yeah, that is it. Namaste. It is Friday, and I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And little Stevie says bye to Steven. Who's there? Who's there? Who's it? Always protecting me. Bye.